What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Soul Food Season 1, Episode 13, Ordinary Pain. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. Make sure you guys hype up the video, okay? Shout out to everybody who's been hyping up my videos. I definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all know I'm a pre-recorded content creator because I'm always busy. Not only that, I do typically go live. If you know, you've been on my channel and you know. What was that? Anyway, shout out to the new subscribers. Welcome to my channel, y'all. I hope y'all like my content. I typically throw in throwbacks like this. I have more if you check my playlist. And you know, welcome to the hood. Okay, this is the hood adjacent around here. Okay, and I say hood adjacent because you know I got a reputation to uphold and whatnot. I'm just playing. Oh my god. But no, for real. I appreciate y'all. For those who are coming along, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoy this ride. For the people who have been here, y'all know I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Like I'm 10 toes down. Like I'm down for y'all like 4 flat tires, okay, or however they say that. But we here. And if you are still in search and you've been kind of peeking in and out, come on over to the hood, okay? It's hood over here. Okay, we drink 40s shorty over here. No, we don't. But it's cool over here. All right. Make sure. What else I wanted to say? I really did wanted to tell y'all thank y'all for subscribing to my channel. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And I am on a road to 1K, so I'm almost there, y'all. If we could just, you know, do all of the things, share, hype, keep me in the algorithm. I'm pushing out videos, y'all, but on top of that, I still have to work. I've been trying to work as well. I really need to work on time management this time again, because I was great at my time management and then it went wonky. But anyway, that's neither y'all problem or anything like that. All right. Soul Food, I do have things to say for this episode. If you guys can relate, let me know down in the comments. Y'all ain't got to put all y'all business out, but let me know in the comments. And if you don't know, I am going to review all 5 seasons. I'm going to review all 5 seasons. In between each new season, I'm going to take a week off and then I'll jump right in it. The goal is to have these done every Sunday. Every Sunday. You know, we meet at Big Mama's house on Sunday. Okay, Big Mama gonna review this on Sundays. Okay, I just got to get back into my schedule. So yes, and another thing, you comment, I comment back every time. I do not miss a comment. I know I remember y'all when y'all do comment. So if I say, hey boo, meaning I know I remember you. I know you. Welcome back. Like that's me engaging because I'm familiar with you. Okay? So I do my best to be familiar with my subbies. Okay? Because I love y'all. Okay? Anyway. So the episode started with the sisters. They usually do their monthly visit to visit their parents over at the gravesite. They take this moment to kind of catch them up on what's been going on per month, you know, every month or whatever. And I just wasn't mad at that. I will say this. When they talked to their parents, it was like they were talking to the grave. They was talking to the grave like they were really there. And it may seem crazy, y'all, but I think that we should be doing that. Like my mom is on my shelf and I don't always talk to my mom, and maybe I should do that. Okay. And feeling like I want to just connect with her more, but I see her a lot in my dreams, just like my grandmother. Anyway, So the groundskeeper walk up to the ladies and let them know, hey, the plot that you guys are trying to purchase, there's some discrepancy with paperwork, so we're gonna kind of hold off on it. And so Terry was like, we didn't purchase a plot. Who because the person's last name was Joseph. And they was like, we didn't purchase a plot. And he gave them the card. He was like, listen, the paper documents need to be taken care of, so just give me a call and we can get all of this stuff straightened out. So of course Terry took the card, and they were on their way home. Now they're puzzled at who's trying to get a plot in the Joseph site or whatever. I mean, the Joseph plot. Who's trying to get some action going with the Josephs. Okay, I know I ain't saying that right. Anyway, so Ahmad is having wet dreams, if you know what I mean. I find these scenes with Ahmad very cringy, but I do understand because my son was once 12 and 14 or 13, so my son was a preteen. My son is actually 24 years old. But these are things that we do have to talk about. And I typically have been skipping some of Ahmad scenes because I wasn't ready, and I'm just like, he's a kid, and but it's a part of the show. This is a part of the show. And so as an adult, as a mother, I think I am going to go ahead and add Ahmad's the issues that Ahmad has. We'll add that in there. So it was just cringy to me, and that's why I didn't want to add it, but whatever. So Ahmad is having a dream about a woman named Janelle, who is the caricature in the in a comic book that him and his friends have. And I guess Janelle is the black girl with the body and the bodysuit, the superhero, and Ahmad not lust, but I don't know, it's like a crazy crush over a comic book character. Okay? And so in the dream, she's fighting crime, he's helping her. But what I didn't like about the dream, the grown-ass woman who played Janelle, I didn't like that the writers outside of the show, the writers and the execs of whatever, approved this woman to have a kissing scene with Ahmad, who's a kid. I did not like that. Now, I don't know how old the actual character is, but I just didn't like that look. And that's just my personal opinion, y'all. So he wakes up out of his dream, and Kenny wakes him up. So Kenny hears him say Janelle. He's like, hey, who is Janelle? And Ahmad was like, what? Because he's dazed. He's up and he's dazed. And my other question is, they come in real forceful, like, Ahmad, get up. And he pops up out of his sleep. And it's like, if you don't get up and move, I'm going to whoop you. And I just don't like that either. I think that soft parenting got us looking like punk hoes. Okay? I'm just saying, like, everything don't warrant a whooping, especially with this 12-year-old intelligent young boy that y'all have. It baffles me every time. Every episode every other episode they're threatening Ahmad. Anyway, it just annoys me. So Terry speak with their Uncle Melvin, and Uncle Melvin tells Terry that there's a family member that is buying the plot next to Big Mama and Jeremiah. So Uncle Melvin came from Peoria, and he drove in person because he feels like, over the phone, I could have told y'all this over the phone, but a promise sounds more like lies over the phone. And he said, not only that, I had to break a promise. So that's why I'm here, because I need to do this in person, and I need to tell y'all this in person. And they are owed that. They were owed an explanation. Again, punk ass Jeremiah. Let me say this disclaimer. If you do not know, my disclaimer for every time I do soul food, somebody manages to piss me off. And I'm going to tell y'all, I've been on Maxine ass. But Maxine, listen, Maxine was my girl this episode. It was Bird and damn Terry. But I will give them grace. But it was especially Bird. Like, girl, you need to grow the fuck up. She pissed me off, okay? Anyway, Uncle Melvin tells the ladies that Nina Joseph is their sister, and she's gonna be buying a plot next to Jeremiah. So he lets them know. So before, and they're visibly upset. So Uncle Melvin lets the ladies know, before Jeremiah even met your mama, he was with a woman named Frida, and Frida didn't know she was pregnant, but she went off to Hollywood to seek out her career, and it didn't work because she was pregnant. So by the time she came back home, she was already pregnant. You know, by the time she came back home, and she wanted to tell Jeremiah, she found out that Jeremiah was already married to Big Mama and was getting ready to have a family. So he says, you know, he let him know that the plot is probably for Nina's mama, because if she's buying a plot, that means her mom has passed away. So Bird was like, I don't believe this. Bird, you don't. You with a nigga named Lim, who act just like your daddy, by the way. And the only reason you put him out because you got tired of his bullshit. The same thing Lim does to you is the same thing Jeremiah did to your to your mama. Like, Bird really acted a total dickhead on this episode. But I will say this, I understand, because they needed to process all of this. What I didn't find fair was that Nina knew. But we can't even be mad at Nina. We got to be mad at Jeremiah. We got to give Jeremiah all the smoke. Because once again, his bullshit has landed on his daughter's doorstep. Okay, because we going to start with the store. They had to fight raggedy ass Lester Hardy for that. Now this. It was just a whole lot of things that Jeremiah was doing we're seeing. He wasn't shit. Okay. Anyway, Terry tells Bird, you know, I'm sure it's true. And Bird was like, you don't know if it's true. And Terry said, and you don't know if it's true. Okay, because this, be clear, they know their dad, and y'all knew how y'all dad got down. There was one of the episodes where his dad didn't come home, so it all makes sense. The gambling, the loss of money from the gambling, that was probably to support. He probably was gambling, but he was giving money to the daughter, to Nina and her mom, to support the kid. I'm pretty sure Big Mama knew, based on the comments she made in this episode when we get a flashback. Because she been pissed. Y'all know she been, if y'all following me, she been pissing me the entire hell off. Anyway, Bird takes this moment to be childish as a mother. She said, she's not my sister. The way I wanted the dog smack the small dogs. Dog smack the piss out of Bird. You understand? I was like, girl, I get it though. Y'all can't just spring this news on us and we're just supposed to be jolly and all willy-nilly and go along to get along. They needed to process this because that was a bit much. And then to have Nina kind of bombard her way into to get this plot, I would have been like, girl, fuck you. Sorry, it's about 14 minutes. So I would have cussed Nina the hell out, but I do understand. And I just feel like Jeremiah and Big Mama could have done this a whole lot better. Because let's be clear, she knew about the shit. Everything Jeremiah do, Big Mama stood there because that was the norm. To stand by your man, no matter whether he drag you by the scalp or not. I'm surprised that lady hair ain't gone. Okay, the way he had been dragging her. Okay, he put her through the roof. Huh. So Bird was like, she's not my sister. My sisters are right here. Shut up, Bird. Shut up. But I do understand her frustration. So Terry gets with the sisters and was like, I've been trying to call Nina, and she keeps her assistant keeps sending me the voicemail and saying she can't talk right now. She's unavailable. So her sisters had to remind her, bitch, that's how you act. Okay, they didn't say that, but I just wanted to put a little sting on it. And it was like, that's how you act. Like, that's crazy. How are you gonna get mad? But Terry, I feel like Terry was also mad because Nina, you and Nina are just alike. It's odd that you get mad at somebody that's a mirror to you. It is odd. Nina was just a mirror of Terry. Now, I forgot to mention, Nina is played by Tyra Banks. All right. So Max thinks it's just dirt. Okay. Terry and Bird is pissed because she made the comment. Why would you say that? And Max had to remind him, like, this lady, our dad met him before he met our mom. Like, that was a thing before we were even thought of, and before he even met Big Mama. But knowing their raggedy ass daddy, he probably had Big Mama on the side, and they know nothing. Y'all know Big Mama head be all in the clouds. Okay? We gonna ball our fists together and strike a mighty blow. Big Mama, somebody should have punched you in the face and struck a mighty blow to you. Maybe you would have had the sense of a billy goat. Okay? Don't piss me off. So, okay, let me calm down. Because I'm trying to, I gotta make my points. Okay? So Nina pulled up in a Mustang. The way Bird was pissed to the highest level of pissivity, okay? Because that Mustang was supposed to go to Bird. We get a flashback where Jeremiah told her, you're supposed to get the car when you 18, but then lie right behind it and tell her the car was crashed. Meanwhile, the car was crashed. He didn't lie. He told her he omitted, and he did both, okay? He told her that the car did crash, but he told her that the car was at the junkyard, and it was a whole heap of junk. That's what he told her, okay? Don't piss me off, Jeremiah. So what happened was Nina was the one who actually wrecked the car, and she had to, so the car was with Nina this entire time. She put $13,000 in it to get it fixed, and she's an architect, so she got money. Like, she is every bit of Terry. He took so much from those girls, and he gave to Nina because Nina couldn't get the version. Nina couldn't get him like the three sisters got. But at the end of the day, I still feel like they all lost one way or another. Like, Jeremiah was so damn selfish, and the women he were with were okay with him giving the bare minimum and being selfish. So she speaks with them about granting her mom's wish, and her mom just want to be buried next to Jeremiah. Why didn't your mama move on, girl? It was given for me. It was given when Jeremiah wasn't at Big Mama's house. He probably was at your mama's house, all on top of her, sweating. You understand what I'm saying? Sticking his boat in that lady's garage. Okay? That's why that lady ain't never move on. That's what it's given. Okay? Not, I'm just saying. Okay? So, the sisters deny it off rip. They want to respect their mother's wishes. And Bird takes this moment to be so cruel. And it's like, I get you're mad. And I'm not invalidating these ladies' feelings, because they have a right to be mad. But you're mad at the wrong person. She didn't ask to be here. Just like y'all didn't ask to be here, but y'all here. And you can't get mad at the person who has gone before you. But what I've learned in this life with therapy, it is okay to be pissed off with the people that have gone before you and kind of left in a disarray. But the goal is to work through it and get past it, because you don't want to continue to be mad at people that's no longer here. You can be mad about what has happened, what they've done, but you have to work through. You have to get to a better place. Okay? That's the goal. The goal is not to stay mad, but speak your piece, get past it, use the tools or whatever you need. But at some point you got to get past it. But it is okay to feel anger towards them, because they lied. He lied. Big Mama lied, but it wasn't even Big Mama's story to tell. It was his story to tell. Anyway, Nina tells them, she gets mad, and she was like, listen, don't contact me no more. And of course, Terry takes this moment, because this is what she does. When she can't strong arm you, she used the law to try to strong arm somebody. So then she was like, well, I'm gonna file an injunction. And Nina was like, girl, fuck you and your injunction, bitch, go ahead. She didn't say that, okay, y'all. She did not say that. I'm just putting some stank on this shit, okay, because that's what I do. I put a little stank on it. Shout out to Ashley Darby. If you don't know, I will be picking up the Real Housewives of Potomac, because I did let y'all down with Housewives of Atlanta. I've always review Housewives of Atlanta, but y'all, it pissed me off so bad that I stopped at episode 5. Yeah. So anyway, moving along, Nina takes this moment to let them know how she felt. Like, y'all not finna bully me, and y'all not finna play with me, which lets me know that she is a damn Joseph through and through. Okay? I just felt like not really Max, but I felt like Bird and Terry needed to grow the fuck up. Like, it's not her fault. It's not her fault, but y'all have this anger with her, and y'all forgetting to get mad at the nigga who caused all of this. Okay? So the ladies are hurt by this news, and Max have a conversation with Kenny. Kenny tries to cheer her up, and I really wasn't mad at it. Kenny did give some good words of wisdom. Bird, her and Lemon still on the outs, but she talked to Lim, but then she snapped out of it, and Bird is just being an asshole. Like, she just aggravating me these past couple episodes, okay, since she put that nigga out, and she should have. And then Terry is having a conversation with Damon. Terry takes this moment to give Damon a key, and so he was like, well, I feel like I need to give you a key. And she was like, you don't have to give me a key, because I gave you a key. I just want you to have the key. But there was no explanation behind the key. All right, y'all hold on to that. So Max is having a conversation with Kenny. She was like, I want to hate her, and she said, but I can't. And y'all know Bird is still pissed off because Nina had that Mustang that was supposed to go to Bird. And Terry is mad because Jeremiah paid for her college, but Terry had to go to college based on a scholarship. And I get that, y'all. I get it. Y'all, I feel like they have every right to be mad at their dad for all of this. But I also feel like he was making up to Nina. They were able to get a full-time dad. Nina wasn't able to get that. So, because she wasn't able to get that, he took things from those girls in order to give to Nina. His absence. So he was absent so much so that him giving her the Mustang was him making up for him being absent, or him paying for Nina to go to college was making up for his absence. But then you tell Terry that she needs to get scholarships. You push her. You need to do this. You need to do that. And the whole time, you've been lying. I felt bad for everybody in the situation. But I was on Max's side this entire episode. But I also understood Max's feelings as well, because she was like, I want to hate her, but I cannot. And Max was so level-headed. But I'm not gonna, I can't take away from Bird and Terry, their frustration. Even Nina, like, she felt like they didn't want her. She felt unwanted. But that's because Jeremiah kept that going. It was like triangulation in a way. You kept these girls away from one another. You kept these girls away from one another, and they was all ignorant in all of this because you probably was still fucking the two mamas. Oh, girl, when I tell y'all, this man, he irks me. Again, I'm glad that I'm able to watch this, y'all, because I really don't remember these episodes, but I specifically remember this episode. So anyway, Ahmad skipped his PSAT session, and he gets in trouble by Kenny. Kenny's talking to him. He was like, you're supposed to be excellent, and you're supposed to make sacrifices. And I'm looking at Kenny like, so when do Ahmad get to be a kid? Y'all have him at this good school, great. And he's a 12-year-old. Making him take the PSAT course because the principal is asking y'all to do such things. Yeah, I can take it in school, but now y'all taking his Saturdays away from him. The weekends should be for him to, just take a brain break. But you're adding an additional day, and maybe I'm adding new school into what we used to do, because if we had to do it, we had to do it. We didn't have a choice. But I feel like making him feel guilty because he wanted to be a kid is wild to me. Talking about you just supposed to be excellent. Why? He's 12. I can see if Ahmad was in high school. Then once he got to the 9th grade, then, hey, listen, we going to talk about these PSATs. You can take a refresher course, like a refresher while you're in middle school. But just know, you going to be on your shit when you get to high school. But it was just like, that expectation of Ahmad is just, it's crazy to me. And they override the fact that Ahmad is still a 12-year-old kid. And they only see it when it's beneficial to them. That's the only thing I don't like. So anyway, Max called Bird and Terry on three-way. And no, I'm sorry. Bird comes over to Terry's house because Bird goes over to Max's house because Max is watching a baby. And so she asked, hey, how are you doing living in a house by yourself without Lim? And she was like, I'm not okay. I miss him. But, I had to do what I had to do. And so she was like, the crazy part is you can be with these men and you never know what they're doing. Or they'll smile in your face even though they're betraying you in front of your face. You don't know. And I feel like not only was Bird talking about her dad and how her dad treated her mom and treated them as an extension, Bird was also talking about Lim. Because again, Lim and Jeremiah are one and the same, but because Bird have this love for her dad, I feel like she have that what do they call it? Hold on. I feel like Bird has the Bird and her cognitive dissonance when it comes to her dad, and Lim, it's crazy to me. Now, she acts as if they do no wrong, even though they've been doing wrong. And you're mad at Nina, but you're not mad at your dad. and you're really mad at her. You should be mad at him because he was the one that lied about the car. He was the one that gave the car to Nina. She couldn't just take it. He gave it to her. But because she's the closest and because she's here and alive, you're going to be mad at her. Like, you can't just go to the grave and be like, I'm pissed off at you. If y'all can have a conversation with Big Mama, then y'all damn sure can go to that gravesite and have a conversation with y'all daddy and let all y'all angst out right there. That's all I'm saying. So, okay. So Bird is also mad. Like, Bird is just coming up with stuff. She was like, do you hear what she calls him? Papa. Bird. That's what she's learned to do. That's their language. That was their thing. Like, I was so annoyed with Bird because she just was. Bird turned into a child. It was like the little girl in her was surfacing out. Like, the little girl in Bird was surfacing out. I was like, Tracy, grow the fuck up. Grow up. But I also cannot get mad because we are just now finding out this information. Bird has accused her of not really being his daughter. Called her the illegitimate child. Like, Bird was so disrespectful. Her and that little bush she had on her head. She pissed me off, y'all. So, we actually, this is when we get the flashback from Christmas. So there are lots of gifts under the tree. And the girls go down to the tree to open the gifts. But before they open the gifts, of course, Big Mama want them to wait hand and foot on Jeremiah. Because that's what the fuck she doing. And she want them to give and forgive Jeremiah. And she irritates me, y'all. But she was like, y'all have to wait till y'all dad come back and in order to open the gifts. So I get it. He bought the gifts, so hey, we gotta wait for the man to come back home. So she tells the girl, this is when I knew her ass knew everything. Sorry, y'all. Big Mama be pissing me off. So Big Mama told them that he was running gifts to another place, but the whole time he was visiting Nina and bringing her her Christmas gifts, and that they ought to be grateful to have food, a roof over their head, and parents who are still together. She tells them other kids don't have that. That was her saying, y'all daddy got another daughter, and she doesn't have y'all dad the way y'all have y'all dad. So it would behoove y'all to wait for him to come home. But they didn't catch the cue. They kids. And they want to open their gifts. Okay? That's when I knew she knew about the shit. She absolutely knew about this shit. Okay? So I'm looking at her like, at first, my question was, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China, ma'am? And then I was like, oh, she knew. You knew because Jeremiah may have told him, but in some ways you want to make yourself feel better by letting that out to the girls. Like, it's there. Like, still you want to make them feel guilty for wanting to open a gift. Like, Lord, somebody just, poor Big Mama. I really need to start having grace for that lady, because somebody should have. Okay. So Nina goes over to Terry's house, and she was like, when you say you was gonna file an injunction, I didn't know you was gonna actually file the injunction. And Nina tells Terry, I lost my mom. Like, I lost my mom, and all I want y'all to do is to just grant my mom this one wish. I'm not asking y'all for anything. I just want y'all to do that one thing. So Terry was like, no, because I need to protect my mom and my best friend. So Nina tells Terry, how her mom loved her dad, and Jeremiah wasn't able to return that love. And I was like, wait a minute now. That's unfair. Like, like, I get that your mom loved your dad, but the bigger question is, when your mom found out that this man had had gotten him a whole family after she left, after your mother left to go pursue her dream, and she found out, came back, things ain't go as planned, but she came back and found out Jeremiah was married and was immediately having a family. Why didn't your mom move on? Like, I'm telling you, it really he was still seeing this woman, which is why she just couldn't let him go. He was lying. He was seeing her. He was. And playing in Big Mama's mother face, okay? Shout out to Letitia Pearson. So yeah. Anyway, Terry was like, no, she told Terry, how much her mom loved their dad, and Jeremiah wasn't able to return that love because her mom was always unhappy because of your family. And I'm like, that's not okay to put that on Terry's doorstep either. You can't make them feel guilty for what y'all dad is doing. And I think that's what they both were doing. They all were making each other feel guilty instead of placing blame where the fuck it was supposed to go. I'm just saying. So Terry said, and Terry was so insensitive, but I get it. And she wasn't lying. Terry said your mama was unhappy because she couldn't move on after the man she loved didn't love her back. Now, you don't know that, Terry. Okay, you don't know that. But he was telling this lady one thing and he was telling this lady something else. So he made her feel like there was some love there. I'm just saying. She could have, I believe Terry, but at the same time, Jeremiah don't give, I was monogamous. And Big Mama, she didn't know she was a pick-me. They taught her to be a pick-me. Okay? And she had to stay. Okay? God is going to bless me for loving you. Shout out to Betty Wright. Okay? I that's what that gave. So anyway, Nina and Terry, they're a mirror to each other. Total mirror to each other. So Nina was like, well, I'm gonna call a family meeting. Terry said, you don't have the right to call nothing. And she was like, well, I'm in the will, and part of that house is just for them three. It's for Nina also, but Nina don't really want the house. All she wants is to bury her mom. And I feel like I'm going to have to go to great lengths. That means I'm going to have to take something from y'all that y'all love the most, and that's this damn house. Okay, I'm going to take my part. So, she called a family meeting or whatever, and we'll get to the family meeting. So, Ahmad tells the boys that he can't go see Janelle because he has to take the PSAT course on Saturday. So, they clowning Ahmad. I get annoyed with his two friends, but they're just kids and they don't know better. Like, they don't know the better side of life that Ahmad does. So yeah. So anyway, she still want to bury her mom. She go talk to the sisters, and they still want to tell her no. She gets up and she leaves, and before she leaves, she threatens them like, okay, well, if I can't bury my mom, how about I take my part off the house? Like, because she's a part of everything. Jeremiah has put her in the will as well. He's put her in the will. And again, like Terry has money, she has money. She's an architect. So it is what it is. So she gets up and she leaves. And Maxine tells them to give Nina some slack because she just lost her mom, and she's still our sister. And Maxine also let them know that if mom can't forgive him, so could we. And Terry was like, I don't think Mama knew. Max looked at her and said, and you believe that? Max and Terry knew who the Jeremiah was. They knew who he was. Based on what we've seen from episodes 1 to 13, and we've gotten some of these flashbacks, they knew who the hell Jeremiah was. They knew he didn't treat his mama right. So this is him having a baby and him hiding the baby from his kids because Big Mama knew. Like, that's him. That is who he is. So anyway, Terry said, if they give her what she want, if I drop the injunction, then we'll give her the plot. So Bird said, so when we go see our mom and dad, we have to go see his mistress too. I was like, Bird, ma'am, obviously you wasn't listening. This man met this woman before he met your mom. That is not his mistress. Now, after the fact, maybe. But this lady didn't know. Like, she was born before y'all. That's why I think more of the grace should come in for her. And because she lost her mom. And because y'all lost y'all mom 6 months ago. And again, this is still new to them. So losing Big Mama is still new to them as well. They're still in their grieving process. So on top of grieving, on top of the life and all the things we have going on, Bird and her and Lim, Terry in her job that swamps her, Maxine trying to figure out her shit, is like, and then we're grieving, and now we have to find out we have a sister. Like, that's a lot. And that is a lot for, I'm not going to say Nina, because Nina knew about them. I think Nina felt like she wasn't wanted. And so that's how she lived most of her life. And I'm thinking because Jeremiah told her, because he was still lying. He never told his girls. So he may have lied to her and said some bullshit and made her feel like she wasn't wanted by the sisters, when they could have had a whole relationship years ago. Anyway, Max called her sisters on three-way, and she tells them, you guys are mad at Nina for something our dad did. Bird again continues to act childish as fuck. Max she was like, I don't want to hear this, I'm gonna hang up. Max was like, you hang up if you will, but I'm still gonna say what the fuck I need to say. She didn't say that, but I just need to throw some stank on it. And so Max tells them this all falls on their dad's doorstep, but nobody wants to talk about that. She was like, I feel like we should be supporting Nina because tomorrow is her mother's funeral. And she was like, I'm going to go. And so Bird was like, I'm not going, and hang up. Maxine was like, it was not Maxine. Tara was like, well, no, I'm not going to go either. And I wasn't mad at it because, again, this is a lot to take in. So that's why I'm not mad at them. And I know I'm giving them a hard time, especially Bird. But Bird was just annoying to me. Like, so they don't want to support me. Shout out to Maxine. First of all, this is the first time Maxine did not get on my nerves this entire episode. Okay? Shout out to Maxine. Okay? So Max actually goes to the funeral to support Nina. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That almost brought some tears to my eye because I thought that was real big of Max. Like, she didn't have to do it, but I felt like that was real big of her. And so she has a piece of paper and she slipped it in Nina's purse. And Nina's got her purse, but she didn't know what Max did. And she's talking to her mom, and she was like, thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for teaching me to love myself. And thank you for introducing me to my father. And Max was taken aback. But again, Max, she took it to the chin. And when Nina turned around, Max was still standing there, and they hugged. And so Nina was like, listen, I need to clear my head, because I'm sure this is a lot. Burying your mother, finding out you had, well, finally meeting your sisters, because she knew about them the whole time. And having to want to actually build a relationship with your sisters, but building something with people that don't want to build with you. That has to be lonely. So she tells Max, listen, I'm going to West Africa for a while. I just need to clear my head. And when I come back, can I call you? Max was like, well, I already put my number in your purse. So yeah, but Max hugs her. They embrace and they walk off together. And y'all, this was the end of the episode. And I will say this, when I tell y'all Max was top tier this episode to me, because that showed great, like, you just have to be a good person to really just open up and let somebody in like that. And the way everything was found out, how everything came out, when it came out, I was it just made me emotional. I was like, girl, don't you cry. You better put them tears together, okay? I was not mad at this episode. I thought this episode was great. Can I just say shout out to y'all remember is it Amara Brock, her ex-husband, Khalil Salim, I think that's his name, y'all. I think I might be saying that wrong, but he was great. Him and Amar, I think that's her name, Brock Akil, I think that was their name. Great writers, great. He was the EP. I think he was even the producer of the EP of this show. Every episode has hit. I forgot how much great TV was out there. Like, they were such geniuses, y'all. I wish that he had not done what he did. I don't know what he's doing now, but amazing. Okay, him and the Shonda Rhimes of it all. Like, shout out to all the black producers and EPs and people in the writing hemisphere. Okay, even Tyler Perry. Okay, I know everybody don't like Tyler Perry, but don't forget, this week we're going to be reviewing Beauty in Black. It's going to be live on Saturdays at 11 with myself and Mrs. Best. We'll go live on both of our channels. So yes, I won't do pre-reads. That'll be all of my lives. That'll even help me, with watch hours and lives and whatnot. Okay. So yes, y'all. Yes. This was the end of the episode. And let me know what y'all think in the comments. Man, my goal for this is for people to really watch these episodes. Watch these soul food episodes. I don't get the views, but I'm not gonna stop reviewing it. I promise y'all, I'm not gonna stop. So once season 1 is done, I'm going to take a week off. It's only 5 seasons, but I'm gonna take a week off, and I'll do it like that. So every Sunday, it'll probably, once I start the new episode, it'll probably be the first 2 episodes on Sundays and Sunday afternoon, and then every week I'll review. But I'm still getting myself adjusted and back reacclimated with the world of YouTube. Okay? Anyway, sorry this was so long-winded, but I thought this episode was good. This is your girl Key Wine, reminding you to keep growing, keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.